Welcome back. All right, just the one game in the NHL tonight, and wow. So it resembled a hockey game. It felt like a hockey game. Through the first period, it definitely had all the earmarks of a hockey game. And then from there, this series, I mean, so here's the thing. The Devils were down 2 games to nothing. I heard that so many times tonight. So many times. And it's true. They were down 2-0 against the Rangers. This feels different. Feels different because the New Jersey Devils have been road warriors all year, and it's their road game that got them back into that series and got their confidence back against the Rangers. Their road game, not very good in this series. The good news for them is Carolina's a team that has had their struggles on the road in the playoffs over the last couple of years. Although you need an asterisk there to say they kind of got over that against the Islanders, so we'll see how it goes from here. So it's Schmidt versus Anderson. Meyer returned to the lineup. Spoiler alert, didn't really help. Early jump though for the Devils, so I guess it helped early enough. Hughes has a rush chance that's blocked. Meyer has a chance in close. That's held on to. Marnook hits the side of the net on a rush. We get a power play for the Devils. So the fans didn't like that. The Devils cycle. There's a post for Hamilton. Then it's cleared. Shorthanded chance for Aho was saved. The fans call one. The referee does not. And then moments later, on a high stick, it becomes a 5-on-3 for 23 seconds. So fans not overly happy with that. Then Hughes is denied. Heischer has a chance that's held as the first penalty comes to an end. So Freddie Anderson doing his job of locking this down early on when we're still in a scoreless game and the Devils are looking to get on the board first. So back-to-back clears by the Devil or by the Canes. The Devils are the team that can't get set up. Mercer has a shot that's blocked. Meyer has one that's caught and held. That power play is killed off. During the back-to-back power plays that had the overlap of 20 seconds of 5-on-3, a grand total of 5 shots for the New Jersey Devils. But they couldn't beat Freddie Anderson. So by the end of the night, one of the things that's talked about is how their power play let them down. I would counter with, or Freddie Anderson shut it down. All right. So Natchez is denied on a rush. Martinook has a shot that's blocked. The shots are 7-3 for the Devils at 9 minutes. Kokaniemi has a shot that's held as the Canes get their best chances so far. So a good shift there. And then the Canes are building some momentum in the second half. They had 7 shots in a row. There's a blocker save on Severson that broke that run at seven shots in a row. But it didn't signal that the Devils were getting momentum back. They just weren't. Once the Canes got it, they really weren't giving that up. Then the hitting is picking up as well. Hughes has a rush chance that was defended. 4:18 left. The Canes get a power play. They cycle. Burns fires one high. His next chance was blocked and cleared out by the Devils. Kokaniemi has a shot that's saved. That power play is killed off. I believe that was the only shot that hit the net too. And then with 59.1 seconds left, it looked like the Devils were taking another penalty, but they argue it's a follow through. The referees discuss and they say, yep, it's a follow through. So you can hit somebody with a high stick if you're shooting the puck and your stick catches them on the follow through. It doesn't matter if you cut them, none of it matters. I know there are fans who get thrown off by this, but that's been the rule for as long as the rule's been in place. However, with 4 seconds left, the Canes do end up getting a power play. So that rolls over into the second period. Natchez has a shot that's saved. They cycle. There's a near miss for Jarvis. Aho's shot deflects high. Kokaniemi has one that's held. But they weren't going to be denied. At 1:35 on that power play, after a good forecheck by the Canes, Kokaniemi gets the power play marker from Gostisbehere and Natchez. So really solid forechecking by the Canes leads to that power play marker. Siegenthaler then has a rush chance that's saved. Step on with a stuff attempt that's somehow saved. I don't know how Schmid saves that, but he did have some good saves tonight. The shots, though, are 6-1 for Carolina at 3.5 minutes. So, yeah, Schmid's kind of an island on his own, and on their 7th shot, they scored at 3:58. It's Kokaniemi from Martinook and fast. And again, strong forecheck and roofed in close. So I don't know. I know the conversations could be out there about which goalie plays in the next game. If they play defensively the way they did tonight, it doesn't matter who the Devils put in the net. So Myers then has a slot shot that's held. There's some pushing after that. The Devils are line juggling. McLeod has a blast from the slot. That was held. Meyer has a shot that's held. And this is where Anderson stands out. No rebounds. Freddie Anderson just Velcro. That puck sticking to him. He is not allowing the rebounds tonight. Nason then has a rush chance that's defended. Natchez had a rush chance that was held. So we're getting some rush chances for the Canes who thrive on that transition game. Marino then has a shot that's held. The Devils, though, they need traffic, they need rebounds, and they weren't getting either at this point in the game. Ball has a point shot that was blocked. The shots are 11-9 for the Canes with 7.5 minutes left. There's a near miss for Siegenthaler through a screen, so they get that traffic in front, but they can't get the puck to the net at that point. Chatfield clears to end some Devils pressure and to get a line change. Shoulder save then on step on. The Devils clear. Things get pushed in a hold by Schmidt. But really, there wasn't much of that. Like when I say there's pushing, it's not like in other games where it takes a while and it's multiple whistles and all the officials are in there. The Devils don't seem to have that in their game. I talked about that against the Rangers. I'm talking about it again here. They don't have that sandpaper, and I think that gets overrated a bit in the playoffs. But against the Canes, they have to have more pushback. They have to have a little more bite to their game. And so at 17:25, Carolina scores again. It was forehand backhand on a fast break from the blue line in. Jordan Stahl, his first goal of the playoffs from Drury and Pesce at 17:25. Canes press for another. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4 with 1:52 left. Hughes has a shot that's blocked. The Canes clear. Shea scores with Schmidt out of position. However, they called it no goal, rightfully so, on goalie interference. And then the announcers were like, well, it's a right non-challenge for Brindamore. However, it's the last 2 minutes of the period. As far as I know, all those replays and reviews are automatic. There aren't challenges in the final couple of minutes for a goal like that. So at any rate, yeah, that happens, and it ends up being okay because they score again anyways. At 19:44, which was about 20 seconds after the other one, didn't count, Natchez scores from Gostisbehere and Slavin, and he buries it on from the slot, and Schmidt had committed a turnover that set that up. So Schmidt's game having some trouble, obviously trying to force something, and the Canes take over and bury it, and that makes it 4 goals in the second period and ends his night. So we start the third period. Vanacek is now in net for the Devils. Bratt misses one wide on a rush. The Devils press. Aho then has a shot that's blocked. The Devils clear, and at 3:49, they get on the board. Wood buries one on a net drive after a turnover by the Canes. McLeod and Bastian with the assists. So that's your fourth line getting on the board. That's a good thing. The problem is you're down 4-1. But they don't get shut out. So no shutout magnet tonight. But we were going to have a magnet tonight that's not the usual NHL one. So the Canes look to answer. The shots are only 2 apiece at 5.5 minutes. The shot rate would go up quite a bit after that. Severson has a blast that's saved on a 4-on-2. Jarvis and Gostisbehere have back-to-back shots that are saved. Good saves there by Vanacek. And the Devils do clear it out. Lazar has a shot that's held. We get some pushing after that. Again, not a lot. Like when I'm saying pushing, it's not at all like what we're going to see in other games tomorrow. So the Devils end up coming out of that with a power play, which again made the fans not happy. Early clear by the Canes. There's a shorthanded 2-on-1 that was defended. Severson has a chance that's saved and cleared. It's killed off. The Devils press a bit after, but then on a breakaway, top shelf, it's Martinuk at 12:45. So he gets a goal to go with his assist. Absolutely fantastic goal, makes it 5-1. And I'm thinking, all right, so the Devils like to lose games 1 and 2 by the score of 5-1. Makes sense if it's the same tonight. It was 5-1 in the first game in this series. It was 5-1 in games 1 and 2 against the Rangers. However, tonight 5-1 wasn't good enough. They had to make it 6. Nason scores from Aho and Jarvis at 13:42. It was a great passing play to set it up, and Nason just taps it in. So that makes it 6-1. Puljujarvi had a net drive that was held. And the Devils are just completely and totally overmatched, outmatched, overdone, overdrawn, bankrupt. I don't know how many words to use for how this was the most lopsided game I think I've seen all playoffs. In that I just didn't really get the feeling the Canes were going to let the Devils get into this one at all. Even when the Devils scored early in the third, all I could think was, so the Canes are going to make him pay for that. That's not going to make him happy. So it does feel a little bit different than the first 2 games against the Rangers. But again, after game 2 between the Rangers and the Devils, there were plenty, myself included, that said, yep, the Devils are inexperienced and, this is just how this works and it's not their year. So I don't want to say that, but man, this feels different to me. Let me know if you're a Devils fan, if it feels different to you, or if you're a neutral observer watching these games, if it feels different, because to me it just feels like the Canes are just dialed in. This is the team that at certain points this year I said, the Canes could end up being favorites for the Stanley Cup. They had their fade towards the end of the season, but they are peaking at a good time to peak. So your 3 stars in this one are Martinook, Anderson, and Kokanyemi. Shots on net 9-8 Carolina in the first, 16-12 Carolina in the second, 11-9 Carolina in the third. Final shots 36-29 for the Canes. Power plays New Jersey 0 for 3, Carolina 1 for 2. The hits 30-24 for New Jersey. Schmid saves 21 out of 25. Vanacek saves 9 out of 11. And Freddie Anderson saved 28 out of 29 to, another really good start for him. His stats are fantastic. New Jersey's got a lot of work to do. I don't know if it matters who starts the next game. I know that's going to be a topic of discussion. They probably go with Vanacek, but they scored 2 on Vanacek as well. So they had 4 on Schmid in the second period. Then in the third, they had 2 more against Vanacek. So I don't know that it matters. New Jersey has to be better. If New Jersey's not better the next game, this series could be over very, very quickly. I even messaged Yvonne. She's at the Abbotsford game tonight, game 4 against Calgary. And I said, this feels like it could end up being a sweep. So we'll see. But let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And again, really impressive full 60 minutes by Carolina tonight. Really well done. And we'll see how New Jersey answers in the next game. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.